Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of The World Diary, a video series where I document how my world is coming along as I'm in the process of rebuilding it myself. It has been a couple of months since the last update, so I do have quite a few new things to go over with you guys. I will quickly jump into Willow Creek because I do have a new thing there. I replaced my old restaurant build, the Bella Vita, with a new one, which is called Wine and Dine. Here it is, and it's a finished lot, so you can always download it if you like it. It is a restaurant. Well, I believe it's set as a cafe because restaurant isn't an available type, but I did build it as a restaurant since the old lot that was in its place was also a kind of restaurant. So I guess I'm gonna quickly show you inside. I can never decide if I should show inside or shouldn't, but I guess I will now. So yeah, it's just quite restaurant-y. I guess I'm going for this kind of old town architecture, which is quite similar to a lot of the stuff in Winterberg that I have so far. If you've seen the previous episodes, I'm actually finding that what I've been doing in Winterberg has been influencing what I want to do in the other cities, which is quite strange because obviously Willow Creek existed way longer than Winterberg, but I am kind of doing the whole outline with the tree thing here as what I have in Winterberg in the modern and the old town neighborhoods. So you can see the outline around a lot with the trees and the lights, which is a kind of common element that a lot of the Winterberg lots have. So I guess I'm going for the same thing here. So yeah, you can see I've begun to edit the library with the outline, and I've put the trees there as well. And I've also done it here, which used to be the lounge, but it is now gone because I'm sure I mentioned that I was not happy with it. It was kind of awkward and ugly, so it's gone now, and just the outline here without the trees for now. But yeah, I believe this will be another lounge, just a different shape. Not sure when it's gonna happen, but yeah, this is the restaurant, which I'm much happier with now compared to the old one, since the old one was built in the dark, scary times before debug and move objects on, and for those of you who know me know that I like clutter and details, so I always knew that I was going to rebuild it at one point, so now I did, and this is the new restaurant, which I like way more, and I also recorded myself building it, so if you're curious, you can always find a video progress of me building it. The next change is in Oasis Springs. I have decided to update my old atomic diner, so I didn't rebuild it like the restaurant in Willow Creek, but I did end up changing it quite a bit, so I'm gonna jump into it to show you. Here it is, and for those of you who are familiar with the original diner, you might notice that it hasn't really changed all that much. Mainly just tweaked the design elements, like I've added the car park here, but I believe the shell is exactly the same down to the size and the shape. I think I tried making it a little bit bigger and then a little bit smaller, but ended up just keeping as it was. The biggest change to it is the interior, because as with the restaurant that I replaced in Willow Creek, the original diner was built in the days before Move Objects On, and since now we have Move Objects On and quite a bit of new content, I figured it's time to update it, so I did. And I believe it's still a bar, but I did end up changing the name because it was originally called the Atomic Diner, but I believe now it has a more retro vibe, so I called it the 50 Diner, which means 50s. for those of you who didn't understand the 5 thing. um, so yeah, that's a new diner. And it is a finished lot as well, so you can always download it as all my other finished lots. I will give the world page link in the description with all the links and stuff for you to have a look. As with my previous couple episodes of the series, the majority of the changes are still taking place in Windberg, surprisingly. So firstly, I have a new residential lot in the residential island here. So this one. This is Windy Rest, and it's another finished lot. A residential, which I didn't really build with any particular household in mind, but I ended up placing the Waits here, a family of 3. So they now live in this house, and actually, just like with the restaurant in Willow Creek, I did record myself while building this, so you can always find the video on my YouTube channel if you like to watch me build this. I am continuing this kind of seaside nautical architecture that I have going on this entire island. So this is just another one of my seaside houses here. I guess I'll quickly show the inside. It's a nice seaside home with a little shed. I've also ended up tweaking one of my older lots, the Nautical, which is located here. It's another lot that was built in the early days of the game when move object sol wasn't a thing. I believe I already said this like 3 times. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, so I've decided to touch it up a little bit to bring it more in line with my more latest residentials. I was originally just going to edit the interior, but I ended up changing the exterior as well because I used to have a little lighthouse next to it and like more foundation, like a kind of pier thing. But I do have a lighthouse build in the back, so I kind of got rid of that decorative little lighthouse and replaced it with this boat shack thingy. So yeah, and I've completely redid the interior, but it's still inhabited by the same household, the Riverfords, who were the original inhabitants of the original Nautical. This one's called Nautical version 2. And it's also another finished lot which you can acquire for your game if you like it. The last thing on this island is this work in progress lot. And I'm going to show you quite a few work in progress lots in this episode. This is what it looks like. It sits on a large 64 by 64 lot, and for those of you who know me, you should know that I absolutely hate working on large lots, large pieces of land, because I just don't know what to do with all the space. I like my stuff cluttered and detailed and furnished, like every single little millimeter is furnished with something. So when it comes to large lots, I am completely lost. So this is like my best attempt at building a large house, which isn't even that large. I mean, it's large by my standards, but you can see it doesn't even take half of the lot, so I'm not sure what to do with all the space. I'll probably just like fill it with trees and bushes and stuff, because Yeah, I'm just not good with large pieces of land. I just don't know what to fill it with. It is largely unfurnished at the moment. I think I've just started doing the kitchen there. But yeah, like literally I did the little dining area there and I did the kitchen and then I have like this space in the middle and I absolutely don't know what to do with it because a lot of my other lots, like this whole thing would accommodate a kitchen, a lounge, a bathroom and a bedroom. So for me to just have one room here, I am completely lost and confused and I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I do like the outside. Um, it's still got that like seaside theme, which is what I'm going with on this island. So this is the last lot on the island, so I actually have something on each lot on the island, which is a good thing, because I guess it means I'm progressing with my world building project, which is painfully slow. But yeah, I suspect it will probably remain unfurnished for a very long time because I just don't know what to do with it. It's just way too big, but we'll see. So that's the house for now. I might actually upload it like unfurnished and just let people do whatever they want with it, and then when I finally furnish it in 10 years time I will hopefully share it. But yeah, I expect it will probably sit unfurnished for a long time. I'm going to move on onto the old town of Winterberg, and I'm gonna start with this lot here, which is a new residential. This is Greywater Townhouses, and it's a residential, one of the only two residentials that I'm gonna have in the old town of Winterberg, because everything else is a community venue here. I seem to have gone a bit overboard with community lots in Winterberg, but yeah, I do have two residentials in here, so this is one of them. And if you have seen the previous episode, I've mentioned that I had a household living on one of the empty pieces of land in Winterberg because the adult of the household, the Mastersons, she owns one of the retail stores that's in here, the comic book store, the Nerdom, which I've also showed in the previous episode. So this is actually their house, so they live here, and it's made to be like twin townhouses, but I'm gonna peek inside and you'll see that they actually occupy both of them at the same time, so it's furnished like one apartment, I guess you could say. And it is a finished lot as well, so you can always download it. And it's next to the pub, which is there. The other residential lot in the old part of Winterberg is here, and it is currently a work in progress. It's largely unfurnished. So I did give it a title. It's going to be called Canal View Apartments. I'm just going to quickly show you. Here's what it looks like. It's another kind of twin townhouse thing. So this is the other only residential in this whole neighborhood, because the rest are community venues. I believe it's finished on the outside, it's mostly just a matter of furnishing it, so it is completely unfurnished at the moment. I did build the shell some time ago and it's pretty much stood unfurnished since then, mostly because even though the size of the lot itself isn't that big, it's only I think 30 by 20, it's the fact that it goes up 3 stories, well I guess even 4 if you count this one. There's so much space that I just feel a bit overwhelmed by having to furnish large spaces, so that's why I'm kind of putting it off as much as I can while I work on the smaller builds, but eventually I will have to come back to it and furnish it, but right now I haven't even started. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with it in terms of how I'm gonna use it. It's obviously way too large just for one household, I believe. I don't really have any massive households. Most of them are like 2, 3, 4 Sims. So I might even combine like 2 households and maybe have one live in one of them and the other one in the other. Like I said, haven't really thought about it. But yeah, I suspect it will probably stay unfurnished for a while, just like that big house in the Winterberg Island, unfortunately, just because I'm not good at furnishing large spaces, simply because I like my stuff so cluttered and detailed that furnishing big places freaks me out a little bit. But yeah, this is the shell, which I personally quite happy with. Still continuing that kind of old town architecture that I have going on in the old part of Winterberg, as well as what I'm sort of trying to do in the modern. I am now by what is possibly my favorite part of the entire world, the trio lots in the old part of Winterberg. So I have showed the finished comic book store, which is that one. There, the Nerdome in the previous episode. And I finished the other 2 now, which I'm gonna show you. So the first one is this one. I believe I showed a work in progress of it in the previous episode. It looked a little bit different. I think it was 1 story high, so I built a second story. And it is a retail venue and it's a music store. So it has a lounge there on the 2nd floor and a music store on the ground floor, and it is called Alice in Musicland, and the reason it's called that is, well, I guess it's like on homage to Alice in Wonderland, because it's owned by a sim called Alice Pink Patterson, which is, by the way, a sim that took the place of the Mastersons on a random empty lot at the moment because she doesn't have a house. But she does need to live in the world somewhere to be an owner of retail lots, so right now she just lives on some random empty lot, so she's gonna get a house eventually. But right now she is the owner of this music store, and it also is a finished lot which you can download. So there's a tower. And this is Juniper Square, which I've also showed as a work in progress in the previous episode. It's actually a chopped in half version of one of my unfurnished builds called Juniper Lounge. I ended up turning it into kind of a tea lounge, so it has a lot of seating and like little tea decor, and it is a finished lot, and it's set as a cafe, so you've got your coffee making equipment there. Just a cute little building, and I've decided to build a carousel here, as you can see, because I had all this empty space. Well, I say empty, I guess I'll explain this for the people who might be new to the series. What I'm trying to do here is I've tried to align the lots so they appear symmetric around this fountain here. The lots do not sit symmetrically in comparison to the fountain, as you can see, so that's why I did this kind of outline thing. So because of the outline, the space for the builds became much smaller. So for instance, you can see like how the three empty space there, and like that's there, and this is here. So that is why the shells are quite small on all the 3 of these lots. And then I had to think of what to do with the fake empty space here, so I've ended up going for a carousel, which I'm personally quite happy with. I believe I have a little one in the Magnolia Promenade lot, the pier build, but I wanted to have a nice kind of old town large carousel somewhere, and this seemed fitting. So yeah, this is also a furnished and finished lot, which you can download. And yeah, just really happy with how this whole setup came to be. I just think it looks, I don't know, authentic to me anyway. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite part of the whole world. Moving on into the modern part of Winterberg, I have 2 things to show you here. So the first one is a new retail lot. This is Seaview Grocery, and it's a grocery store retail lot, and this was actually similarly to the bank venue that's also in this neighborhood right there. This was a requested a lot on Tumblr because I believe there is a grocery mod that has like objects like fruit stands and vegetable stands that lets you buy produce and sell produce, but I personally don't use the mod, so I don't know much about it. But yeah, the person did mention that they either have the mod or they want to use the mod, so they have asked me to build a grocery store, and I have obliged, because I have been thinking of wanting to build a grocery store, so this was the result. I was inspired by various rabbit holes from Sims 3, so I don't know if this looks anything like it, but for instance like this part was inspired, I think it's a was it the theater from Pets expansion? I might be mistaken, sort of. And then this is obviously like was based on the grocery store, rabbit hole, and so on. So yeah, it was inspired by the Sims 3 rabbit holes. So I'm gonna show you the inside. This is a retail, so you can buy stuff. It is a finished lot, and mine is owned by the Potts, which is a household of country Sims who live on that one, in that one house with like a sprawling yard. So I thought it would be fitting to make them be the owners of the grocery store, since their own house basically has like tons of produce on it, like space where I pretend that they grow stuff. So yeah, I let them be the owners of the grocery store in my game. So if you do download this, you can make your Sims own it, or you can just let the game generate an owner for it. It's up to you. But yeah, you can download it. Not sure if I showed the inside of this part here. I basically just scarcely furnished it with random stuff. Put the bathroom there, so Sims, like you see Sims walking in here to use the bathroom, but yeah, the rest is just kind of placeholder stuff, so you don't look through the windows and see nothing, so you can see some kind of furniture there. But yeah, this is the requested grocery store. The last thing I'm going to show you is this work in progress, which is located here. So it's another set of twin townhouses, which is kind of a theme with me, you may have noticed. I am trying to turn this into a residential lot. I was kind of going for that kind of city hotel shell type, but I am trying to make it a residential. So right now I've called it hotel living, and I have begun to furnish it, but I'm not really that happy with it, so I'll probably redo quite a lot of it. I have furnished the downstairs as a hotel, so you can see it has like a little reception area there with keys, and there's like a little bar here. I have been like contemplating maybe just leaving this as a generic community venue and then, you know, have Sims stay here a couple nights as a real hotel, but I keep making so many community venues in the world and I don't have many residential, so I thought I will try the residential thing here. But yeah, I haven't really completely decided what I'm doing yet, but yeah, not sure. This is gonna be either a hotel style community venue or it's gonna be a hotel style residential lot. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, I do like the shell of this as well. I just like that whole style. Not really sure what to call it, like the townhousey style. I've originally actually built it over on that lot there in the background, the kind of piery one, but I figured it would probably look a bit better here. So right now this is the only residential in this little zone here, so I have 3 community venues and 1 residential, and the lot that's in the background there I also will try to have a residential there. But as you can see, there's really nothing there, it's just some benches and some awning there and the outline. So nothing much, so I'm not even gonna go there to show you. But yeah, I am planning to have another residential there because I do really need more residentials because I keep making community venues over and over and over. And my poor Sims need houses to live in. So yeah, I believe that's everything I wanted to show you. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. So yeah, I would like to thank you for watching. And as always, I will provide the links to my world page so you can view the images and get links for downloads and stuff, because I have had a couple of people tell me that they wish I would slow down and like show more of the builds and stuff, but like I said previously, I don't want to show too much because I don't want to make the videos too long. And plus, all the finished lots already have download posts on my Tumblr, so you can always click the links and view the images of the interiors instead of me having to show you. So yes, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope this was enjoyable. Hope it wasn't too long and too boring and too tedious, because I do go on a lot of rambling. Have a habit of rambling a lot. I'm doing it now, aren't I? Yes, I am. So I'm gonna shut up and go. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you later.